Hello everyone, and welcome back here to the latest edition of the Dolphin Dive here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of Dolphin Time. Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, you have Dolphin Time, and every second and fourth Wednesday, the Dolphin Dive with student athletes, head coaches, as well as administration, alumni, and future Dolphins. I'm very excited to put the spotlight on LeMoyne Dolphins men's soccer with Coach Tom Bonus here. Tom, how are you?
Dan, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Doing very well. So, you have had a very interesting preseason, and we were talking about it a little bit off the air, but you had the opportunity to take the team away and go to a place called Golden Goal where you could not only play soccer, but to live there and experience life away from everything. And I'd love for you to speak on that.
Yeah, so like I think with COVID the last couple of years, we haven't had the opportunity to get the guys together on regular things that we would normally do. So I came up with this idea that I wanted to get them off campus. I wanted them to be able to live together, eat together. We also brought in a guy, John, from West Point, that did a lot of did a lot of team building and team chemistry with us, and it was absolutely great. So.
Why did you want to do something like this? I know you said COVID, it was hard to have anybody be together, but what was so important to you going into this season that you wanted to have an experience like this?
So I think with the group that we have coming back, we have so many new faces. We have 9 new faces. We have some freshmen, we have some transfers, we have some grad students coming in. So the opportunity to just get these guys together, I think really helped us, and that's why we wanted to do it. And then from a standpoint of we want to look at just building relationships, building chemistry. The other thing I think we wanted to really work on is just our last year we lost a lot of key players and some leadership, so we wanted to work on some leadership qualities too over the time we were at Golden Goal.
For those that don't know, the leadership that moved forward, what do you want to say about the appreciation of those gentlemen and maybe how they've left the program?
Yeah, so I think last year the guys as seniors, the guys were in leadership roles. I think they did a good job, and it just with COVID, it just happened that it just seemed like everyone was leaving at the same time, yeah. And so we not only had to replace numbers and players, but we also had to replace that leadership that we received from those guys.
So for you, how would you describe this team for LeMoyne Dolphins men's soccer here in 2022? The makeup of the team, the culture of the team, how would you describe who you have personnel-wise this time around?
So I think right now, I think I really like how we've come out of the camp and the preseason training. I think it's a really good group. Not only have I think there's some players that are stepping up within the program that are being good leaders, but also some of the players that we've added have now identified and stepped up and have tried to take that leadership role. So I'm happy right now, but it's early yet. So
team building at Golden Goal, what did you get to do that week that you felt was most fruitful?
We did a team challenge course that I thought was very good. We also went on a hike where we took a rock, and each player had to carry it up the mountain, take turns carrying it up the mountain, and then we left that rock on the top, and everyone wrote on that rock, what are their goals, what did they get out of the week. The great thing about this experience Golden Goal was there was just a lot of communication, and everyone was being pretty honest and opening up, what we wanted to get out of this season.
When you have that and you had that team building element side of things of going up the mountain and carrying the rock and having to share the load.
Yep.
what did you see from the team that really impressed you or put a smile on your face in seeing the passing of this rock and the working together to get it up the hill, to get it up the mountain?
Well, the one thing is, I was, mentioning this to, Bob Beretta, our athletic director, that at first when the guy introduced, the rock and going up the mountain, I was like, I don't know how this is going to go over. But then, just what made me really happy is how the guys embraced it. And I think not only embraced it, but when Bob or John was asking them what it meant to them, I think they did a very good job of trying to relate that back to the team.
And you said that once the rock got to the top of the mountain, everybody rode on it.
Yep.
So when you looked at that and you looked at what each of your student athletes said in this family of LeMoyne men's soccer, what did you take away from the messages that were on there?
I took that it was a very that the guys were very motivated, and they were probably pretty serious about in what direction they wanted this program to go this season. But also on top of that, I'm hoping that there was a lot of messages that were conveyed to them during this week that will help them in their lives as they're developing.
What are some of those messages you're hoping seep in and stay with them?
I think the one message that we kept saying all week and we got was all in, and we talk a lot about being. I think it's a difference if you're all in on the field, but are you all in off the field? Are you buying into taking care of yourself, nutrition, academics? So being all in was one, and then the other thing for me is I just think that the guys really responded to the process very good. They opened up, and a lot of true feelings came out, and it was good.
When the team opens up and there's this sharing of feelings, was there any hard moment? Was there any adverse moment that you felt like you had to work through as a team that showed itself in that week?
No, I think I think some things were put out there, and they were past experiences that maybe the player had that were good or bad. But if they were bad, I think the other guys were trying to help them out and so forth. So I think it was good, and everyone had an open mind, leading to that. So I think we got a lot of good things out on the table that we can learn from.
What did you take away personally?
For me, it was very eye-opening. Obviously I've been here for 23 years, and I've had things that I do, set things that I do, the way I approach things,
yeah.
And it really made my my eyes open that it's a different time now, and I gotta open my eyes, and I gotta do things a little bit differently. So it was, in that sense, it was good. I've always been a big believer in coaching, and I tell my assistant coaches this. If you stop wanting to learn and you don't have an open mind, then that's the time to get out of coaching. So, so for me it was, and I think as well as the players, it was very good.
Dolphin Dive here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Inside of Cafe Kubal Studios, we're here with Tom Bonus, the LeMoyne Dolphins men's soccer head coach of over 2 decades, and myself, Dan Tortora. You know me as DT as well here on the show. And as you learn, like you said, if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to grow and adjust to change, then that's when you should get out.
Yep.
Right. So when you look back on this retreat of sorts to Golden Goal, what is it about you that you learned, maybe I can adjust, maybe I can change this, maybe I can evolve in this area? What are those areas?
So I think, one thing that, for me from, the beginning when I first started coaching here to now, the players have changed. And not in a bad way. They just change the way that you have to deal with them. You know, and so I think this helped me in terms of being able to relate to them better.
How so have you seen the student athlete change?
I think the student athlete now, they want to be involved more. They want to, like, instead of telling them, you know, to do something, they want to know why you're doing it, and so that's a big thing. So like I said before, it hasn't changed for the worse. It's changed differently, and you know, for the better. And you know, I got great guys, and I'm excited to work with them.
So you can't do the typical, like what my dad would say, because I said so. You have to say why you're saying so.
Yeah.
How have you adjusted to explaining more and being more open to that?
Yeah, no, I'll you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been difficult, but it's been good. You know, they've been very responsive to it, and you know, I think it's taken some you know, some practice on our end.
Here with Tom Bonus and Tom, as we get set for this season, there's so much coming up, and at the time that we're sharing this with all of you here on Wednesday, August 24th, there's a doubleheader on August 25th.
Correct.
For men's and women's soccer here at LeMoyne. So how strange is, I mean, I feel like it's like we jump into summer and it's going on and we're in June, and then July is a long month, and then there's a doubleheader for soccer. I mean, does it sneak up on? I mean, I know that you're always preparing all throughout the year, but a doubleheader is going to be here tomorrow. What does that feel like?
Well, it definitely, you know, this year we started a little bit earlier than normal, and I think that there's only been one other year that I can ever remember starting earlier than we started this year. Was the year that we went overseas. We were able to come back early and train, you know, leading up to that time. So yeah, it's been quick. It's been a quick turnaround.
For you, do you like it? Not like starting a little bit earlier? What's it like from the head coach's seat to get everybody back a little bit earlier?
I don't mind it. I think, you know, the earlier you can get the boys back and you can be with them, and I always like this time of year, preseason, because you know there's no classes, and you know you can really put a lot and spend a lot of time with the guys. So so I like this time of year. So
you come back from this retreat, any time that you get away, and I've been a team leader on a retreat, and I've actually been a part of them, and so I can say that there's always that breath of fresh air, right?
Yeah.
And you come back and you feel like a new human being, almost like you're born again, and it's like a clean slate. You feel like a white sheet of paper. There's like nothing in your mind. You're calm, you're peaceful. How do you sustain that? Because it's so easy to have like that, oh, I just went on a retreat and I feel good for 3 days, and then bang, I'm back to it. How do you hold on to what you learned from the retreat?
Well, I think that is a challenge that not only, you know, the coaching staff and the players talked about before we left Golden Goal, is how do we sustain, you know, what we learned? Because you know, once you get back here, you know, now you got outside factors that you're dealing with, you know, classes and all the things that come with it. So do they stay grounded and they just remember what they talked about, you know, on that retreat? And you know, so I think one of the things was that we were, you know, going to come back and revisit that time, you know, throughout the season to try to remind everyone where we came from.
And like you said, you're gonna come back and revisit that. I guess you feel it out when you need to do that.
Yes.
You know,
yeah,
and there's an art in general of coaching and knowing where to push a little, where to lean a little, where to step back. How have you, like you said, you've been here 23 years, you know, you've been here over 2 decades. How have you learned the art of when to give that tough love and when to kind of lean back and watch things develop? Because there's those moments where you don't know, do I jump in now or do I wait? How have you learned how to navigate that?
I have. No, to be fair to you, in the time that I've been here, that's something that I'm always learning. When do I, gotta push the student athletes a little bit? When do I gotta hang back? I think, it obviously helps if working in the same place for 23 years, because you get to know the ins and outs of the place, and when maybe a certain time is coming that it's going to be a little bit more stressful. So I think the experience, but that's something that we're always learning how to manage the student athletes at the best.
Have you been on a retreat like the one you went on to Golden Goal?
We've been we've taken the team twice over to Europe, so it hasn't, you can call that kind of a retreat, but we were over there and we were together, so it was good. But we never have been. I think the key with this retreat for us was we were there, we were living together, and they were forced to basically be with each other, talk to each other, and then also we took it a step further and we brought John in, and he was helping us with some team chemistry, some team building, some hard discussions and so forth. So I think that's why we did it.
Do you feel that the team? Did you see the team grow?
Absolutely, no question about it. I thought it was a great time. I think the guys were all excited about it when we went, and I definitely saw the team grow as we were there.
Best part of it, hindsight 2020.
There were so many good parts to it. Probably when they made me climb up over the obstacle wall.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was
good.
That was tough. Yeah. So, there was a lot of good. There were a lot of good parts to it. So.
Well, so they lifted you up as you worked to do that.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
So, and John from West Point, what did he bring to the table, and what do you want to say about his involvement in it? Because, like you said, you went a step further to include him.
First of all, I want to thank him. I think he was great in terms of that. It was nice because he just stepped in and kind of took over, and so it was someone different that they didn't hear my voice, and he was good at asking the hard questions, and I think the other thing, the way that we've set this up is now we've developed a senior leadership team, and they're going to kind of be the leaders as we go through the season, and he worked very closely with them about actually at the end of the session he had them presenting, and it was pretty impressive.
And having somebody up there, having another voice leading,
yep,
it means you got to learn.
Yep.
More so.
Absolutely. Yep.
Did you feel like you being shoulder to shoulder with the student athletes, with your team, and listening to John, that helped you bond with them even more?
Yeah, and I think that helped me bond with them a little bit more, and I think it also just having John there as a sounding board, throwing ideas off of him was very good.
What did he say to you that lasted with you?
Not anything that he said from a standpoint that just a one thing, but just a couple. He talked a lot about with our guys. He talked a lot about a couple guys that died when he was serving for our country, and just stories that he told sometimes really related back. And the other thing, I think this retreat was a real eye-opener for myself and the student athletes to appreciate that we get a chance to go out and play soccer, and with things that are going on in life. So
and definitely, people always say it's a battle. You're in a game, you're in a battle, but then you talk to someone who's in a real one.
Yeah.
And it is life or death.
Yep.
And it humbles you, or at least it should.
Right. Yep.
So Tom Bonus here. We're going to round out today's edition of the Dolphin Dive, as we always do, with a little bit of rapid fire, which we've done for you, just off the cuff. So Tom gets 3, I get 3. You can ask me the first question.
Okay, who's your favorite football team?
Pro or college?
Hello, how are you?
Pro or college?
Oh, Marson.
Pro or college.
Pro or where was that located?
No, pro or college.
Oh, I'm sorry, pro or college. Okay, pro team.
Pro team, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
From the beginning. I've been a Fred Taylor fan, love Jacksonville. I actually cover the team. We do a segment on the show called On the Prowl, and this will be my 12th year, God willing, that I'll be down on site, on location in Jacksonville.
So you'll be,
I go back and forth.
So I'm a Steelers fan.
Okay.
And we're playing Jacksonville this week, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna, yes, I will have the opportunity to live in that world. So, and the Steelers have Miles Jack from my Jaguars.
Yeah, Miles Jack, yeah.
Linebacker that I've interviewed. You also have 2 other guys that I've gotten to know over the years and interviewed. Calvin Austin III, your rookie wide receiver from Memphis, and your rookie quarterback, Kenny Pickett, I interviewed at Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I got a lot of connections to Pittsburgh, and I have a few friends that are trying to pull me over. I won't leave Jacksonville, but I can be Pittsburgh enthusiastic.
Yeah, friendly, right.
Friendly, Pittsburgh friendly, I guess. So, okay, so I guess my first one for you, why the Steelers?
I grew up watching them as a kid, and when the Super Bowl used to be, the Cowboys and the Steelers, I grew up, and to this day it's stuck.
Why didn't you pick the Cowboys?
I love the Steelers because they're, they were always, Steel City, they're tough.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I try to, convey to my players that, that's one way that, I want to coach. I always want their guys to be, hard. I want them to be physical. So the Steelers have always had a place in my heart.
I can respect that. What's your second one for me?
Let's see. Favorite baseball team?
The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay, Arizona Diamondbacks, yeah.
Because I wanted my own team, like Jacksonville. And so when they came out in 1997, I believe, I wanted to have a team that nobody could bandwagon jump. A huge Randy Johnson fan.
Yeah.
So, big Randy Johnson fan. First time I ever saw any one of my teams win a championship was 2001 when they beat my dad's Yankees.
Yeah.
And that was a fantastic moment. I will never forget looking at my dad, yelling in his face, throwing my hat at him on the couch, and then running upstairs a little after 10 o'clock in the morning and waking my mother up and scaring the heck out of her because we won a championship.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
And I had the poster, so big Randy Johnson fan. Okay. Favorite band of all time?
Favorite band of all time? I probably like I've been to see a couple. I'd say Elton John. I'm going to see. I don't know if Elton John counts as a band.
Yeah, we'll count Elton.
I'm going to see him in the Dome.
Okay.
When they come on the 11th, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So very excited for you to see him.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's something about Elton John, and listen, he sings, plays instruments, so he counts.
Yeah, okay, all right.
What's your last one for me?
How about what do you like to do in your spare time?
So I'm a Disney fan, so
Yeah.
I do like to go down to Florida. It's the second home for me, and it's also the second home of Wake Up Call, and a lot of what I do with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media for my company. So it's professionally and personally, but I don't feel like I work. So it all feels personal, but it's professional stuff.
Right.
I love the state of Florida, so I like to go to the beach. I like to go down to Florida and go to Disney. Love music. Been singing all my life.
Yeah.
Some people don't know that since I was 3.
Okay.
And I have written at this point, I think it's 40 songs.
Oh, really?
That I've written myself.
Nice.
And so I would say that, and I'm a movie guy. Love going to the movies.
So, yeah,
big fan of the movies and taking some time out for that. So yeah, there's a lot of things I like to get involved with, and because I'm very busy,
Yeah.
I like to integrate it where I can. So I am a sing in the car guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Practice my voice while I'm doing it. So
Right.
yeah, I would say that. My last one for you. if you could be in the movie or television world, so you could jump into a fictitious world,
Yep.
and you could be a character in that world, what world would you choose?
But you know, my daughter's right at the age of 9,
Okay.
and she used to watch the Power Rangers were big. I would probably, like right now, if I just saw the movie the other day with the Minions.
Yeah.
What's it called? I would probably want to be a Minion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So.
All right, I can appreciate
Yeah.
that.
So.
This is 2B because I wanted to follow up with the Elton John. Favorite Elton John song? Or like a top 3 if you can't pick.
I don't know. I'll have to come back.
Yeah.
I got so many favorites. I'll
Get
have to
back
come
to me
back
on
and
that.
yeah.
He's got ways. I mean, him, Billy Joel, Michael Jackson. There's certain people that you can't pick one.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, like you pick their top 50 usually
Yeah.
of what they have because they've been around for so long.
I like all their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the stuff. Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones. It's hard for the Beatles. It's hard for all of them.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Tom Bonus, the head coach of the LeMoyne Dolphins men's soccer team, myself, Dan Tortora, and very happy to always be here with you for the Dolphin Dive every second and fourth Wednesday of each month at 9 a.m. Eastern Time during Dolphin Time. And of course, the first and third Wednesday of each month, we have AD&DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora. For now, and for Tom, I thank you for watching and be a part of it. Tom, fins up.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Good job, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you.